Irrefutable logic here.
Civic Neblet.
No.
Just trying to get out one of our webisodes. So we're gonna go through a few topics. You already know where to find us at. Project Rethink Media on our YouTube channel.
ProjectRethinkMedia.com.
All that set up. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr.
Everywhere, man.
Everywhere, man. We even got T-shirts. If you see us on the street, you know who we are, man.
Yeah.
So we just putting out a little webisode.
Yeah.
Figured we just hit you guys with some popular topics. Something we're trying to do with the podcast too. Any popular topics, you guys can send it to the Project Rethink Twitter.
Yes.
Any stuff you guys want to talk about, any questions, stuff like that. So this is just a little pilot that we're putting out.
Yes. So I want to talk about the Edward Snowden, the leaker, and what's going on right now, because that seems to be a big news story, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
With espionage, man. With
what a lie, eh? Espionage. Like, how often do you hear that?
Not often, man. That's like something you hear in the movies.
In the movies, right? Yeah. It's like a movie thing.
For real, like how many people do you hear that's like, oh, corporate, well, even corporate espionage, but even then, how often do you hear that, right? So I mean, from that, this is actually happening right now.
So now we're gonna go on the internet, right?
Yeah, we're gonna check it out.
We're gonna check out exactly what this espionage.
What's the
really
definition?
Defined as. What's the definition of espionage?
What's the definition of espionage?
Espionage is defined as the act of spying. The act of spying or using spies to obtain secret information as about another government or business competitor.
Mm-hmm. Because what was it that Snowden did again? It was like
leaking files about American security.
Mm-hmm. Like Homeland Security.
Security Department.
The CIA.
Which is very serious. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of this stuff, they have technology and things that they keep to themselves.
That's true.
Like for example, remember when the Obama thing went down? When one of the helicopters that hit that landed on Obama's Osama. Mm-hmm. That landed on his compound.
One of the helicopters that went down?
Yeah, one of the helicopters that went down there crashed. Mm-hmm. Right?
You mean the one that was on the news?
On the news, right? Yeah. They gathered every single part of the
plane?
The helicopter.
And
took it with them.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want anybody to show up and steal the technology.
Mm-hmm.
That was
because you're talking in the military helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Because all of that is hidden, that's true, yeah. It just
those
makes
kind
you
of
think
things
that like every day they're hiding stuff that that we don't even know about.
Exactly.
Because actually there was even an article, wasn't there, in the news about remember with the Americans with the phones, how they were saying they were tracking them?
Yeah.
Like all that type of stuff. You actually, let me see if I can find it. But yeah, they were talking about they were tracking them. Americans were like, because remember how they were petitioning and everything? Mm-hmm. Like we don't want to, because they were actually tracking their cell phones, claiming that it was for the security. It was the CIA actually.
Yeah.
Talking about it was for security. Tapping into your random conversations. Because on all those late night shows like what is it, Jon Stewart and all those guys. Yeah, I saw it one night with one of the two of those guys. They were just talking about that, and they crack jokes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that stuff there, man. It really makes you think, man. They're tracking every day. That's why I laugh when people get all upset over stuff like Facebook changing your privacy features, and it's
because the government is doing it worse.
Yeah,
sinister
stuff, man. Your picture or your date of birth getting out, like people already have your date of birth. You see how people's everyday identities get stolen. I don't think your Facebook pictures are gonna really make a difference.
And to go back to the Snowden thing, right? And now Russia is giving him asylum. And Obama just said that he's not, he had a trip planned to Russia, and he's not gonna go because he's mad at the country,
Yeah.
for giving Snowden asylum. And why is it that they're really pushing this espionage thing? We want your views. You'll add us at the Twitter, at the ReThink Podcast.
Yeah, on Twitter.
And, so add us about your viewpoints on this topic. Because we're trying to see what people are coming with and if they're really noticing this too.
Oh, definitely, because we're trying to get the word out there, right? Because you know, this is we're delving into another aspect, you know, a side that a lot of people from Project Rethink Media haven't seen.
Haven't seen yet.
This is like the real raw portion. This is the podcast that we were actually talking about.
Yes.
You know, but figure since, you know, we're not able to assemble with the podcast right now, you know, the webisodes would be the next best thing, you know.
Exactly.
So we're able to get our voices heard at the same time, and also it's more interactive than people just hearing us with voices. You know, they're able to put a name to a sound to a face.
You know what I'm saying?
So at the same time, it's the ability for you guys to send us stuff. You know, ask us, oh yeah, you know, here's a question for the week, you know, or we're gonna even have some possible special guests come in, you know, two special guests relating to the topics that you guys ask us. Because if you ask us for certain topics, we're gonna try and find people who are, you know, relatable in that area.
Yes.
You know, who have experience and who've actually had to go through the struggles or whatever it may be in that certain
people genre. That are well knowledge on certain issues. You know, right now, you know, Mad and Sad is gonna be on a podcast. She's like a Pan-African feminist, so you know, you can add her on Twitter at KingGuyMH, you know. But yeah, you know, like, so we're trying to bring up the issues that really matter right now, you know, and bring it to the forefront, you know, and get people's viewpoints on it, you know.
Definitely.
That's what Project Rethink Podcast, Project Rethink Media is about.
Yeah. You know, actually, Project Rethink in general, you know, it's just been encompassed all in with the media and the podcast and all that. But Project Rethink is a movement. You know,
exactly.
Like I always say, it's a movement. You know, this is not something we're just doing for a day or a week.
Exactly.
This is a lifetime movement. You know, to get people to think differently. You know,
think different. Rethink.
The rethink. You know, it's like that's literally our slogan. You know, that our slogan is, you know, it's time to rethink everything.
Everything, man.
You know. And that's just, it's the truth. You want to hear topics that relate to you, you know, anything, man. Don't be shy or afraid to send us any of your questions, you know. Send them to us, you know, by any means. We're going to go through everything that we can. You know, we need your feedback in order for us to turn around and give us our feedback on it and our viewpoints, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, and possibly, who knows, maybe one day we might even have you, some of the guests, the people who send us the stuff on the show.
On the show, exactly.
Because you may specialize in a certain area that we may want you to be on.
Exactly.
Business, volunteer in the community, you're in a certain specialty genre in school.
Exactly.
Anything like that.
Anything, you know? Like that.
That's what we're looking for. You know, especially young people.
Yes.
Because the key is to showcase that there's young people out here who are doing things, you know. Because as you see every day within the media, there's always, you know, this negativity about the youth. You know, you see all these youth day things, but do you really see what the youth are really doing? You know? Especially in this economy and stuff like that, where a lot of people are seeing that. They're just, young people are coming out of university not doing anything. We want to be able to showcase that. Those are out here trying to do things.
Exactly. You know, like, the issues, you know, there's a lot of things going on, you know, like.
Because actually, I was just pulling up, it was actually the NSA. That's
NSA leaker.
Yeah, it's an NSA leaker, and it actually came back to the thing we were talking about with the phone. Anger swells after NSA phone records court order revelations. So senior politicians revealed that U.S. counterterrorism efforts have swept up personal data from American citizens for years. So it's been for years that they've just been
taking data.
They've been reading your text messages, listening in on your phone calls, you know, and that's in the States. You know, for all we know, it could be happening in many other places too.
Exactly.
You know, so. It just,
you know,
like,
don't you find it crazy how, like, certain countries like China and those places tend to restrict their people's access to the internet? You know,
well, still that
certain stuff,
communism,
like certain stuff on Google is blocked.
Oh yeah. Well, even remember how even
from China.
Well, for example, too, in a place like China, and I know in Brazil they don't allow, they've never allowed any episodes to air of The Simpsons or Family Guy.
Really?
No, that's the truth. They don't even have it there. Because they feel that, you know, that's Western society coming in.
Like cultural imperialism.
Exactly,
almost.
Yeah. Because it's trying to keep a clean slate or keep people controlled to the way you want them.
Yeah.
You know, they're just doing it, like, that's what I'm talking about with people to, like, open your eyes, you know. They're doing it on a different level.
Yeah.
You know, obviously out here we may claim that we have all this freedom to, you know, do what we want. But at the same time, there's always a catch to it. Yeah, so, you know, all those topics that we were discussing with you guys, we'd like you guys to send us any information, any questions, any topics, stuff like that. Any material you guys feel that touch on any of those topics. You know where to find us. You know where to find me at least. You know, Civic Neblet.
Alright. Irrefutable Logic.
You know, the ProjectRethinkMedia.com. For the website, you know where to find us on YouTube, Project Rethink Media, the channel.
Yes.
And last but not least, any material, any stuff that you guys want to send to the
Twitter.
the Twitter account.
At the ReThink Podcast.
Yeah, and then also at the same time, ProjectRethinkMedia@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another place, because any of your other stuff that you can't get at us through the Twitter, you only got 140 characters. You don't want to get directly at us on the Civic Nebula Irrefutable Logic. Send any of that material right to the Gmail account, and we'd be more than happy to sift through it, check it out, and
definitely get back to you.
As soon as possible. So, all right, guys, this is Civic Nebula.
Irrefutable Logic.
Signing out.